What's good, everybody? I don't think anyone's in here. I already have a like, though. I don't know how that works, but hello. My name is Zach. I run this channel called Audibly Dumb, and this is Audibly Chill. Every Sunday between 10 and 11 a.m., I like to live stream and hang out with some wonderful nerds. No one's here with me in the beginning, but that's okay. So, what we're talking about today, and I'm probably going to have to reiterate this later when people show up. Oh, and then they all just jump in. How we doing, squad? What the fuck is up? It is great to see you guys. Oh, man. Jason, what is up, my dude? Thank you for joining. Somebody wants an E-chord. We must give the children what they want. Okay. There was no reverb on that E-chord, and that affected me emotionally. You know what I mean? It's gotta keep going when you stop. Oh, man. It is great to see all you cats. Thank you so much for being here. I would like to talk about guitar tones. Can we do that for a little bit? Like for real. Like I think guitar tone is one of like the weirdest things in our hobby, in this industry. When you watch famous musicians and you listen to how they get the sounds that they get, it's like tube, digital, analog, that like to every degree of professionalism in music, they all kind of use everything. You got tube amp purists, you got digital heathens of the night, right? But it's all accomplishing the same thing. Oh man. Fire and Ice Dragon, very good to see you. Oh, just let me. Okay, I didn't miss anybody. We're all good. So, does anybody here listen to Humphreys McGee, the jam band? Anybody? We got any Humphreys fans in here? I'm going somewhere with this. I'm not going to be talking about their music, but I watched their rig rundown, and they're one of the guitar players said some really fascinating stuff. And one of the things he did was he plays through two amps. Crickets. I know, no one listens to Humphreys McGee. That's crazy. He uses two amps, never at the same time. He's got a Fender style amp and then like a Marshall style amp. The idea is Fender clean pedal platformer. Marshall is the dirty Eddie Van Halen thing. I was watching Government Mule, their rig rundown. Same thing. Homie has Fender side, he's got a Marshall side. They're never on at the same time. They're going for contrast. So I tried to recreate that here. I was trying the whole stereo thing for a little bit, multiple amps. It wasn't really my bag. Got to get a sip of coffee. 1 second. That one was for Jesus. Okay. So what I've got going now is I'm running two amps, but not at the same time, and I can switch between them easy. But before we start switching amps, here's another thing Humphreys McGee did that was kind of insane. On the Fender side, he goes, I've got an EQ, a compressor, and an overdrive pedal on full time. They're never off. And it's like, never? Why would you do that? He even said, he goes, we could honestly take them off the board, put them somewhere else because I'm never actually hitting the button on the pedal. So, what exactly is happening? And I wanted to show you real quick why it's so beneficial. So, this is just my Princeton, okay? The volume's on 2 because I'm married. Do you understand? If I ran this thing on 5, the lady upstairs, yeah, that wouldn't be a thing. So just clean sound from the Princeton, right? Not bad until you go to record it. With just the Princeton, it sounds pretty, but you try to stick that in a mix, you can't feel it or hear it. And I can add overdrive, I could add distortion pedals to that. It's going to make it dirtier for sure, but I guess it's kind of hard to put this into words. What I want to try and simulate is if I took this amp and I put it on 5, but the volume doesn't increase. Let me show you what happens. So this is just the amp. I'm going to turn on a light compressor. It's subtle. You may not even hear it with the camera mic, but it blooms a little bit more. It's not louder. It's not louder. It just kind of goes, you know what I mean? But then I put on an overdrive, and what winds up happening, same volume, but it's like a believable overdrive. It doesn't sound like I'm slapping something in front of the amp. It sounds like I took the amp and I turned it up to like 4 or 5. What's cool about that is I can play lightly, roll the volume back just a touch, middle position. And it's clean without touching any pedals. Bridge pickup, turn the volume full way, and hit harder. Right? What do we think of this so far? Like, just based off of that mentality, what are your guys' thoughts as guitar players? Because I'm in my basement, I'm not trying to go super louder, but I want more harmonic density in what I'm playing. And that's how I'm choosing to do it. Literally ripped it right from Humphrey McGee's Rig Rundown. It's a more dynamic sound without having to jack the volume all the way up. That's exactly it. And it's really not, it's not loud in here. You know what I mean? It's, I don't know, maybe a little louder than you could play in an apartment. I am lucky to have a house, but it's neck pickup rolled off slightly. Dope. Very, very dope. And then as a pedal platformer, how I have my Helix set up, there's 8 buttons. The bottom 4, it just keeps adding gain to the Princeton. So the first thing here is a valve driver. Nice. That sound can do classic rock. That sound can do jam bandy stuff. That sound can do a whole bunch. The next stage takes a KWB, which is actually a fuzz, and puts it after that. Do you see how? So right now, you're hearing an always-on overdrive, you're hearing a valve driver overdrive, and a KWB fuzz all at the same time. How are we stacking all of these overdrives and it's not mud? It's not like getting in the way. I'll do you one better. We go to the next phase. This is a Timmy style overdrive with the other 3 on at the same time. Still not muddy. If I put a reverb and a delay on, dude, get that going. If you like mud, then get the mud. All you have to do is take the gain knob and keep jacking those up a little bit more, dude. Like, the reason why it's all working is because the gain knob on all these drives, no joke, if it goes up to 12, it's on 3. You're technically gain stacking, but your EQ and like harmonic stacking as well. And that's the reason why it's working. So from nothing to everything, clean, which isn't really clean. There's a lot of hair on there, but as I showed, we can go clean, or it can get some dirt on it as well. So we go from this to this to this to this. Any more dirt added on than that, and this Princeton, you would lose any note clarity. You would lose the individual sound of all the notes, and it would all just blur together. Thrash metal, oh my God. Man, we got a bunch of legends in the chats right now. I see you guys in the comments all the time in the content. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to say this a couple times today, but I'll get it out up front. Thank you so much for watching the channel and engaging with the content. I love you guys very, very much. It really is a wonderful thing seeing you guys every day. And thank you for giving your opinions in the comments too. That's what I wanted. Like, express your love for music, project your nerdisms. You know what I mean? Love it. So that level of gain is about where the Princeton tops out. And what's great is this methodology. If I were to go play live, and this needs to be on 3 or 4 to keep up with a band, some slight adjustment to the pedal volumes, and we're aces. So that's great. My hair is not far away from that like mid 2000s emo thing, maybe even late 90s. Do I look sad right now? Is this sad? How come nobody told me, you know? Where are you? Right? It's got that vibe. I kind of like it and I kind of don't. Anyways, so the Humphreys McGee thing. What they're doing, they want Fender clarity and pedal platforming, but then they want that higher gain Marshall thing. Well, that's a vibe, dude, and I'm happy for you. So, how do we get the Marshall side? I don't have a Marshall amp. What I do have is a Line 6 Helix, and they have a really modern amp model called the Archetype. I think it's based off of a PRS amplifier. Or is that the Archon? I don't know. But what I'm going for is not so much Marshall sound. It's more modern saturated gain. So think like Pliny, if you know who that is. I really enjoy that. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you very much. I'm glad you like it. So let me show you the difference here. This is the Princeton. This is the first stage of the digital amp going through the 212. Right? Way different. That's the first stage of the digital amp. As I cascade up, the same drive pedals are getting stacked together, but I have the parameters slightly different to cater to the specific amp. But as we cascade up, it's getting... You can still hear all the notes individually. And then all the way at the top is just like for really articulate. You can do some pretty good riffage there as well. Right? And the most beautiful part, do I have these dialed in for this? Okay, that's light enough. I love that. I think it might need a little bit of tweaking on the top end there. There might be some slightly too much bass right now, but why I love the Helix so much and why I love this setup is being able to go from that clean tube amp, right? And then with one button press, you can just jump around and get all these different types of sounds. Just with one button press. Douche, 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 douche. And I'm constantly switching between the digital and the tube amp. That's also the reason why I have them both mic'd. Whenever I make my videos, I'm constantly switching between both. And so I use Reaper, and Reaper's just constantly recording both. Here's the other thing that's cool. Because I have them stacked on top of each other, so like I have the 57 on the Princeton, because I'm recording both at the same time, I leave it that way in Reaper. You get a little bit of bleed from one amp into the other. Kind of cool. So sometimes I'll take one of the channels and pan it a little bit to one side. It's only getting a little bit of the volume from the other amp, but it can kind of make it sound wider in recording, which is cool. I agree with you 100%. I'm very novice when it comes to recording and DAWs and all of that, but I'm starting to play around with backing tracks and creating my own drum tracks for the content. And considering I do all this on a laptop, my processing power is limited. So the fact that Reaper can play a backing track, I can record multiple amps at once, and then latency, it auto corrects for that. And then I also have a digital drummer loaded in there as well. The fact it can do all that on a laptop, and I can use DaVinci Resolve for editing and stuff, pretty sick. MacBook Pro is the answer. So I don't have what you'd call money, right? Like, oh man, thank you for sharing with your friends, dude. I appreciate it. Friends are cool. I have 6 of those. No joke, all of my close friends, we only see each other at live concerts. That's it. I got a really good group of dudes that I just go see shows with. We get there right as doors open. We pick our perfect spots on the floor, which, by the way, what is the perfect spot on the floor of a concert venue? I'll tell you. You want to be near the center adjacent, enough to where you can see everything on stage, but there's this beautiful moment right before you're in the mosh section. Now, if you like moshing, that's good for you. Here's the deal. I'm not what you'd call a man. I can't take hits like that. You know what I mean? Some 220-pound dude, he's on his 19th beer, just runs up, fucking push. I'm out. I'm out, dude. I hit the ground. I'm going home, you know? Call my mom on the way home, tell her what happened, that kind of thing. I just don't like getting hit. So, anyways, we show up right at doors. We pick our spot. We just kind of bullshit for an hour. It's the most fun hang of all time. That's you catch up on things, talk about life, and then in between catching up and talking about life, you see some dope music. Pretty cool. See, the dual tracking thing, that's another thing. When I say I'm a novice, I did learn about, like, properly double tracking, and it's like, "So you mean I have to play the exact same thing, the exact same way, again? No, I'm not doing that. I'm not a professional. I like to play something and just kinda hope it works out." It is pretty sick. I think it's crazy. Some of these cats, like Matt Pike from Sleep, they'll run like 7 amplifiers at once. Jason, what was the band you sent me like a few weeks back where it was like 9 amps or something? You sent me this picture that looked ridiculous. Was it Sun? Was that them? Oh man. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's they have to all be similar amps because I guess you can run into phase issues. The ones that do it with vintage amps, that's crazy. You know what I mean? The ones that take 50-year-old amplifiers, we're going to take 5 of them. And just like, man, being guitar tech for them would suck. You know who really sucks? Or not, he doesn't suck, but his job sucks. The guitar tech for the Edge from U2. Go watch that rig rundown, bro. Holy shit. That guy manages like 46 guitars and like 9 amplifiers. What? That dude's running Fender Tweeds, Fender Harvards, the Deluxe. He's got Vox AC30s all running at the same time. It's insane. Dallas Shoup, right? Is that his name? That dude. Oh, and that's just guitars and amps. Pedals? It's like 80 pedals. What kind of amp do you have? Hey, Joe Francis, you live local, right? You're in Denver? If I remember correctly, you live yeah. We should meet up sometime, dude, at like a guitar center or something. I'm down to meet folks. I told you I got 6 friends. Mm, I'm down. I'm down to meet at Flipside, dude. Flipside music is bomb. Um, but yeah, I used to cycle through gear so much and like buy so many things. I got to tell you, 2.5 years with the Line 6 Helix. It's the best piece of gear I've ever bought. So, like, when you consider the fact that right now, this one thing is doing reverb and delay swells, it's my tuner, 2 more delays, 2 more reverbs, 2 different EQs, and always on overdrive. 6, actually, if you want to get technical, 7 stages of gain, and it's keeping up with routing 2 different amplifiers. I paid $550 for this like 2.5 years ago. It's the best piece of gear I ever bought. The Princeton I traded 2 guitars for. That cab was $150. It's got vintage 30s in it. And the Seymour Duncan power amp was like 150. Outside of that, I really haven't spent much money on amplification in years. I think we should all kind of aspire to that. What am I saying? Buy everything. Ignore everything I just said to you. That was way too reasonable. Way too mature. Dude, let's see. The Crab Sun Model T. Oh, you did get that. The Crab Sun Model T. That's dope. Um, let's see here. What is the Ibanez Tone Blaster? I don't know what that is. Oh, current amp Lust. I didn't see that. My bad, dude. Um, I don't know what the Ibanez Tone Blaster is. The Zoom 3 G3, 3G, whatever. I've heard good things. I've never played it, but that's cool. I am recording exclusively in mono, good sir. I'm not against solid state, dude. I'm kind of into solid state amps. I've played plenty that actually sounded really good. They get kind of shit talked, but mm. But yeah, I don't play around with stereo. It's all mono. It's just easier, right? Let's see here. That's a cool sound. For two Ibanez amps. Ibanez makes an amp. Is that a thing? Um, yeah, so Jason loves Tonex, dude, and I understand. I played some at NAMM. It sounds good. You know, I gotta say, as much as I love tube amps, I love my Princeton. I will die on the hill that you can do anything with digital. Facts. Go watch the Intervals Rig Rundown. They run their sound to the front of house with like impulse responses and things like that. But then they also route their sound to passive cabinets on stage using a power amp. So you're getting the impulse response thing through the house PA, but then you're also getting on stage presence. And let's say the PA went down for the venue, they can still run the show if they had to. And it's all digital. I think Aaron Marshall is using Fractal right now. Like I'm a big proponent of digital. That's exactly how I feel. And like to any of you here, if you're kind of a younger player, it's easy to listen to other people and get wrapped up in, you know, you got to have this to sound like this, you got to do that. If it sounds good and feels good to you, that's it. Like that's all it needs to be. Go to Discord and type in audibly Discord. That's me. I honestly don't run it. I don't run it the way I should. I haven't been on in a while. I got to figure that out. But I do have a Discord. It just sucks. I'm not on it. Fact. Like plugins and stuff. Like it's all good, dude. It's all good. But yeah, I guess I should say Audibly Discord is the name of my Discord. If you guys ever want to post pictures or videos or whatever, like be free, birdie. Be free. Isn't playing guitar just the best? Even if you suck at it, just playing music and expressing yourself. The older I'm getting, I turned 30 last year. The less I'm caring about like what is cool or not cool, and just more about like vibes on it. You know what I mean? Just whether you're a drummer, a harmonica player, if you play the fucking triangle, I don't know, like creating sounds that mean something to you. It's the best. Uh it's honestly like running out of fucks to give is the life unlock. It doesn't make you mean or anything like that. It just lets you express yourself and be who you are. And that's super cool. Yeah, we all start on level 1. Facts, facts, facts. And good. I'm glad you greet your friends with sup nerds. I don't know them, but they are for sure. Oh, goodness. Oh man. Another thing that I think is fascinating that's really obvious, but like a lot of a lot of people, myself included, don't pay attention to it. If you're playing something, right? Like right there, I don't even know what I was playing, but that's 2 notes, right? And then a little movement. If you're playing something, don't feel required to play something new immediately. And then sit in it for just let it just sit there. Not only can you think of like more interesting things to stem off that, but also you get more time. So people are always like, "Man, how do you like write something that's 4 minutes long, or how do you think of something that's 4 minutes long?" Think in terms of sections and let it breathe. Jack is Dash Dash Y9W. It's great to see you. You can't stay, but you still dropped by. Listen to me. For the rest of your day, I want you to hang your hat on the fact you are amazing. Okay? No matter what happens, no matter who stands in your way, no matter what stands in your way, you're great. Please have a wonderful Sunday. Thank you for stopping by to say hi, and thank you so much for watching the content. You're beautiful. Uh, I just hit you with some James Blunt. So, um, that's totally true. Yeah, writing things separately is 100% facts. keep if you just play a little tiny something and it sounds cool, repeat it. Repeat it again, but change one little thing slightly. Do that one more time. Congratulations. You just wrote a guitar part. Record it and save it. It's just a thing. It's 15 seconds or 20 seconds of a thing. Then you're going to play something else one day and be like, huh, those might connect pretty cool together. Or let's say they don't connect, but you think that they could. So now you're like, okay, I'm going to record this thing and then we're going to kind of work on it a little bit. Before you know it, you've got a whole piece together. Pretty cool. I mean, that's how that works. Let's see. So there was the best way to tell the difference between digital and tube amp is to try them side by side with no effects of any kind. The digital cannot produce the warm tone. That is false, good sir. Or ma'am, I have no idea. I assume, sir. The last 10 videos I've uploaded, my audience has been 100% male, according to YouTube. I think I've gotten comments from some female viewers. I don't know, but I'm going to assume you're a guy. But yeah, like digital can sound pretty close to tubes. What's mad? That's mad? What is what I just said a hot take? Genuinely, I switch between them. I have gotten a digital amp model in my Helix to sound very, very fucking similar to my Princeton. Like, very similar. But I don't want something that sounds just like my Princeton. I have my Princeton. I want a different thing. Oh, the viewer analytics. Yeah, it's crazy. And yeah, and like when I'm talking about this stuff, like I am referencing being in person in the room, digital and tube. Now, big distinction. Fun fact, I might be doing a video on a Hello Kitty guitar here shortly. We'll see. I hope I can get one. Um, I'm running digital here, but I'm using a passive 212 cabinet. A lot of folks, if they're running digital, they're going to go direct. They're using, impulse responses and cab emulation and things like that. That's going to be different. That's how you get the really pristine digital thing. Using a digital preamp with a solid state power amp and a cabinet, it's a different thing. But it sounds real to me, anyways. Yeah, honestly, I kind of gave up on like what Jason is saying here. I kind of gave up on the argument regarding like, does it sound as good? Does it sound real? Don't really give a shit. Does it sound good? That's the only thing that matters. Uh, so if you wanted to run a digital amp through a tube amp, it would have to have an effects loop because you have to bypass the preamp. So essentially, this little box up here on top of my Princeton, all that's doing is providing amplification power to this cabinet. So you can use it with a tube amp if you want. I prefer to just do this. Also, my tube amp doesn't have an effects loop, so that's another thing. Mm. Yeah, I've totally given up on the conversation regarding what's better. It's like, dude, You can make anything sound good. If you have a bunch of tube amps, that's great, but don't pretend that it just sounds so much better than digital. The technology out nowadays is ridiculous, man. Especially quad cortex. If you're going to spend the money, buy a quad cortex and dial that in. Uh, it sounds great. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, that is also true. That's another thing that I have kind of learned for recording. As guitar players, we focus so much on the hand that's on the neck. The value in following through with your picking hand. Like, not so much hitting harder, but a lot of people don't focus on the technique of properly hitting the string. I think when people think tone, again, they always wind up defaulting to this hand. The way you attack it, I think, means more than the way you fret it. Is that a hot take? I don't know. Yeah, that's another thing. Vibrato is hard. Getting a really good vibrato is difficult, isn't it? Now, I feel like that's one of the harder things as a guitar player because you can go side to side like violin style, and that's kind of cool, but it sounds, if you just do it by itself, it sounds like eh, right? These people that can do these really wide vibratos, jealous, dude. What's that? Philip Sace. Anybody here listen to Philip Sace? His vibrato, dude, it's like way down here, way up, super fast. That Stevie Ray Vaughan, really wide, really slow vibrato. I can't do it. It's just, they won't do it. Mm, let's see here. Wha- One moment, my laptop battery is running low, and I forgot to plug it in before we started. Do, 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 do. Oh, there we go. Yeah, learning how to. Oh man, I don't think I talked about this the last couple weeks. When I was at Shabbat Guitars booth at NAM, they had a two rock. It was like a $4,000 amplifier for people to play through. And when I tell you immediately, every single deficit that I have as a musician, it was just right there. It was right there. It sounded like two turds had a baby and then that baby took a shit. It was awful. I literally just blip, blip, blip. Nope. I put the guitar right back. The Discord is called Audibly Discord. Um, I'm gonna ask you guys a really novice question here, if you don't mind. So I have no idea what I'm doing with any of this. I don't know how to run a Discord or do Discord things. I've got it separated into a bunch of categories. What would you guys want to see on there? Like just some playing videos, just some communicate. Like, what would you want out of Audibly Discord to the point where you'd share it with friends and be like, "This place fucks." Oh. Because like I want to build it up to be something cool, but I don't know what I'm doing. Dang. No one's responding to that, and that's okay. I'm gonna dote on this guitar. I love Morrison, dude. I think I'm gonna have this guitar for the rest of my life. I think I've had Morrison for 3 years. I've played it 90% of the time. Yeah, that was an accident. I think I've had this strap for 11 years. I've had it for a long time. Uh, you can also message me on Instagram if you want. Go to Instagram, audibly dumb. It's the same shorts content as on YouTube, just on Instagram. But if anybody ever needs to message me, Timeless Bricks. I would like everybody to know that Timeless Bricks 123 has commented more on Audibly Dumb than any other person, and it isn't close. I looked the other day just because I was curious, and Timeless Bricks has commented like 40 more times than second place. It is bananas. Maurice, I know you. Hi. Different rock era content is always fun. You mean just like talking about bands and like history and stuff? I guess I would ask you guys this. So, like, here's my thing. When it comes to talking, I love talking about music, right? But I look at some of these YouTube channels like Vertex Effects and 5 Watt World. It's these amazing stories about music history, and they're layering all these, like, they have professional editors. They're not doing this themselves. Like, they pay people to edit all these videos to just like the umph degree. I'm not doing any of that. Like, I don't have time. Would you guys watch me just kind of talking and bullshitting about something? Because I like video editing for emphasis and doing fun stuff, but the hyper edited, super pristine, there's just so many channels that do it in the best way, and I don't even want to try. You know what I mean? It's there's so many content creators that I look up to in this space, man. But I try not to watch all that often anymore because I don't want to be making something and then make a decision and then that decision just winds up looking like someone else. You know what I mean? Which is a very real thing. If you write music or you paint or whatever, samesies, like you like you could literally look at something and the back of your brain goes, "Oh, that's pretty cool." The next thing you create, it's going to have it in there. And it's like, damn it. Fire and Ice, thank you so much for coming by. Really appreciate you once again. Hey, listen, have a fantastic day or I'm going to get pissed. Have a great day. Do I have a favorite guitar pick? Yes. So I use... Is that blurry? I think I can fix that. Let me see. Jim Dunlop Prime Tones. I do have a little Jazz 3 in there that I used to play a lot. But the Jim Dunlop Prime Tones, these are the 1.0s. And then I'm also playing with a 1.5. So this is the 1.0. It's a little bit larger, but it's not as thick. I think I'm enjoying the 1.5. It's kind of the shape of a Jazz 3, but it's just a little bit more real estate and it's still as lightweight. So I played Jazz 3s for a couple years, but these Jim Dunlop Prime Tones, they're really good. I really, really like them. They got a little bit of a grip to them, like the logo or whatever is textured, so it literally, I never drop it. It never does the shifting thing. Fantastic picks, man. That's another thing that makes guitar players really interesting. I guess musicians in general is like they get so specific with what they like, from the pick to the type of tuners that are on the headstock. You know what I mean? But it's all accomplishing the same shit. Yeah. Everybody, Shell Freer is down there. That sup nerds with the cool guy face, that is my mother. Everybody say hi, please. That's Mama Dumb right there in the house. Hell yeah, blow that bitch up. Welcome to the chat, Mom. That was for you. I don't do that for just anybody, okay? Those E chords get held back for very important people. That was a VIP E chord. A VI E chord. Does anybody ever play around with that? I saw like Angus Young would do that a lot, where it's like he's on the G string, he'll bend up, but he keeps his pinky on that B string. I love it too. I do it 3 different ways. We've got this, you've got this, and then there's, what is that? Is that a double stop? I thought a double stop was where you like hammer on to two notes at the same time. This is what I'm saying. I don't know shit. Like, I'm trying. I don't even know what it's called. I just know that it can sound cool. Also, hang on one second. Knives Over Wives. Thank you very much for shopping at Flipside Music. Hey guys, real quick. So, the owner of Flipside Music in Denver, any videos you see where I'm talking about gear, just like trying to have a good time, all of that shit is given to me for free by a local store. Can you guys please do me a favor? If you're shopping online, Sweetwater is great. I totally understand that. Call that store or email that store. They will price match. If you mention the channel, they will hook you up, right? They're amazing. I went to Flipside Music with less than 2,000 subscribers. I said, I'm a local content creator and I just want to like have some gear to make videos with while supporting a local store. The owner of that store had no reason to do that for me. I didn't have and I still have a relatively small audience, right? It takes time to do this. But he's cool and he engaged with it. They sell a ton of guitars. Yes, they sell Heritage, Fender, Mexico Fender, American Fender, PRS, Yamaha, Reverend. They sell lots of different stuff. I've never heard of Sam Fender. But genuinely, uh, thank you so much for what you guys do for the channel. But if you're shopping for gear and you're shopping online, please support Flipside Music in Denver. It is the coolest store. They are the nicest dudes. They're all incredibly knowledgeable. And on a personal note, helped my channel when they did not have to. I did not have an audience warranting them to let me borrow gear. They have given me thousands of dollars worth of gear just to have in my basement and make videos with. Pretty amazing. Pretty open. Think about how many business people, it's like this. It's just like, this is the way it is. No, they like to try new things. They want to engage with musicians. They really give a shit. Same thing with Texas Toast Guitars. Texas Toast Guitars is in Denver. They've been abnormally kind to me. They've given me some guitars to make videos with. I'm talking with them right now about a custom build for the channel. And yeah, dude, it's just support Flipside Music, please. If you care about the channel, buy from Flipside Music because they're great dudes. Texas Toast Guitars, based in Denver, Colorado. I love it, man. I'm actually going to talk with the owner. I'm going to talk with the owner of Flipside here in a little bit to generate an affiliate link just so you guys can click directly from the channel if you ever want to check anything out, you know? Any more distortion in that and I fall apart. I almost kind of fell apart right there. I think that's slightly too much gain for my liking, if there is such a thing. I don't know, man. I'm just dicking around. So, guitar players here, do you focus more on learning songs, learning licks, or just like improvising with scales and stuff? I suck at it too, homie. I like learning parts of songs. I don't like playing full songs note for note from beginning to end. Dude, modes are fun. Improvised caveman doom riffs. Milo Man. Riff riff. Ooh-ha. When I learned all the modes, it's fun. Like playing around. It's how you get like the jam bandy stuff, is you have to know the modes, you know? It's like it's one of those things where if you're playing around in major, because a lot of jam band music is in major. If you just played like the major scale, that would kind of take you to. But the jam band sound kind of lies in like Mixolydian. So still major, but even just that right there, that sounded way more jam bandy than just playing the major scale. Uh, Triads again. I kind of talked about it last week. Triads, man, fucking dope. I play them poorly, but it is fun. Hi, Soul Divide Music. Did you leave and then come back, or are you just saying, hey, either way, hey? I don't know. I find myself, I also have ADHD, but I struggle to sit down and really hone in and like practice stuff the way I should. I feel like I've gotten triads under my fingers enough to really view the fretboard in a different way. That's been fun, but yeah, it's tough. It really is. But like of anything that I've learned recently, triads have been the biggest thing. Mainly just because knowing where your root, your third, and your fifth is everywhere, That would be major. And then it's like, okay, just flatten the third, and now you've got minor. Really opens up the fretboard, man. So if you're in A, it's like, no, okay, we have A here, we have A here, and we have A here. Then you've got the third, which would be here, and then here. And then what would the fifth be? Here and here, if that's right. And knowing how to make chords out of all of that is dope. Little flat five. I was just bullshitting there, but it's cool to not just play single notes. I think we oftentimes just get lost in this. I have a question for you. How many of you play in major keys on a regular basis? And be honest, is it majority minor? Or do you play major ever? Because I feel like most people, they get stuck all in minor, and it's usually in the minor pentatonic, right? What's the playlist? Is it elevated jam tracks? Good. I was hoping to see that. I feel like most people get stuck in minor pentatonic hell. And it's like, learn what major sounds like and what it feels like. If anybody needs jam tracks, go to Elevated Jam Tracks. That guy's the best. And I'll tell you this, if you go to his website, if you go to Bandcamp, he sells all of his backing tracks, right? He did a sale last year, 200 professional backing tracks. $8. And if you're a content creator, as long as you credit him in the description of your video and you paid for it, he lets you use his backing tracks in your content, royalty copyright free. What? I'll be honest with you. When you're checking out at Bandcamp, they say, do you want to give additional money to the person? It was $8 for 200 fucking songs. I gave him an additional $10. I just gave it to him. I literally was like, $8 for 200 songs? Take more money. Like, please. Elevated Jam Tracks is the GOAT. And on YouTube, when you watch the video, he shows you him playing the chord progression. So that way you can see his finger placement. So if you want to play rhythm, you can mimic it. Then it transitions away from him playing. And all it is it's the BPM and it's the chord that's being played followed by the chord that's coming next. And then that just plays for like 6-7 minutes. At the end of the video, it transitions back over to him and he plays his solo over the backing track. So that way you're basically getting a backing track you can play over, the visual chord progression, plus what's coming next. You're getting the video of him playing the chord progression so you can see where that's being done. And then if you go to the very end, there's a solo to give you ideas to mimic and get in your ears. Elevated jam tracks, that's the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God. Dude, I'm glad you added it to your favorites. Everybody here should right now. Of any of the jam track people, that dude's the fucking goat. Uh all right, here's the deal, you beautiful heathens. I am going to be logging off right now, mainly because there's been this thing where I live stream for like an hour and a half, hour and 45 on Sundays, and my voice goes, and I can't record content the rest of the day. Now that I have a big boy job again, I'm working like 40 to 50 hours a week. I have to record content on Sunday. Um, Fair. That is water. That was coffee, though. Thank you guys so much for seriously go support that dude at Elevated Jam Tracks. That guy's the shit. Um, but yeah, once again, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me this morning. I really, really appreciate you guys so much. You're the best nerds in the world. Um, I'm not going to be missing Sundays anymore. Every single Sunday between 10 and 11 a.m. Denver time, we're going to be hanging out here. So anytime you give me, I really appreciate it. I haven't uploaded any long form content in a couple weeks just because that's the hardest part and the new job and everything. But that's going to start continuing this week. The shorts are going back to a routine schedule. Somebody asked earlier about the DIY parts caster. I'm currently talking. I have an in with a local organization that's a nonprofit that basically brings music to the youth here in Denver. That is where this guitar is going to go. So I'm working on it, but it's going to be a thing. Expect a bunch of content this week. And thank you guys so much for hanging out. Let's hit him with one of these. Bang. My name is Zach. This has been Audibly Chill. Thank you so much for hanging. I like that. That felt nice. Peace out, everybody. Thank you so much for the hang. I hope you have a wonderful week. I'll see you in the comments throughout the week, and I will see you here next Sunday. Deuces!